We're just waiting for the rabbi to come on here.
Fly.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Fly, heavy co-host these days.
What?
You're a heavy co-host.
We have the Shiurim crew on deck.
Yeah.
Where's Rabbi Charlop's here? Okay.
You guys waiting for the Rav?
He's on. I'm just trying to get him to get his video.
Okay. Driving the traffic in Lakewood. Taking advantage of the last days of no traffic.
Yeah. It'll be a while till that happens again.
Okay.
Hey, Rebbe, I'm gonna spotlight you now. Okay.
So do you think I can you think I can live stream?
I might be able to actually do that myself. Let me see if I can take care of it.
No, but I want it onto my Facebook.
Oh, you want it on your account?
I want it on my account because I got.
I think I could do that. Let me see. I think I might be able to do that.
I want to spend too much time. Oh, I didn't bring the safer. It was a second, but right there. I want to get going right away though.
Let me see.
Schmoly.
Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Let's just jump right in. Shalom Ezra. Schmoly, Shalom Yaakov. Very nice. Okay, I'm a co-host. Let me see if I can put this on me. Then, where's that? I want to spend time on this. Let's make this happen. Shem's help. Nope. Here we go. Shared time. Facebook. Nope. Okay, how do I get it to Facebook, Yanko?
It's not working?
No, where do I find it?
Oh, where it says more on the bottom right?
More?
Live on Facebook?
No, I don't have more. I don't have anything.
Maybe if I make you, can I make you the host? Here we go. I just made you the host.
Okay, great. I'm Facebook. Give me 1 second, gentlemen. I don't want to waste too much time on this. I think it's, do you want to go live? Yeah, great. Preparing, sorry. Okay, so let me, while this is preparing, let me just tell you, this Rav Tzadok is a fascinating sefer. Rav Tzadok was the Talmud of the Ishbitzer. He lived at the beginning of the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century. Just a second. Yeah, got it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Got it. I think we're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on? Okay. Sorry. Here we go. So Rav Tzadok is a fascinating sefer. I'll tell you, it's mamish unusual sefer. I think we're live, right?
Yes.
It says on top of the screen, live on Facebook.
Yeah, great, exciting. Very good. Okay, here we go. Now, let's. I think we're on. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, we're on. Yeah, let me give it back to you. Yaakov, I'm going to give this back to you. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Let me give it back to you. Yaakov, I'm going to give this back to you. Okay, sorry. Problems now. Let's keep going back. I'm
Hearing an echo.
Problems now. Not working. Let's keep going back. I'm hearing an echo. Okay, let's try to see what happens. Okay, you guys hear me all right? Yeah? Okay, here we go. Rav Tzadok is a fascinating sefer, and I hope to be able to give it over in a good way. Rav Tzadok was a super genius at a very early age. Okay, you guys hear me all right?
Rabbi, there's some kind of echoing, right?
There we go. Rav Tzadok is a fascinating sefer, and I hope to be able to give it over.
Are you logged into your Facebook account in the same computer? Could be it's playing like in the background or something.
You should mute the speakers from your Facebook so it doesn't replay in the Zoom.
Got it.
Right. I think it's playing in the background or something. Computer? Could be it's playing like in the background or something.
You should mute the speakers from your...
Is that working better?
Like a 10-second delay, you gotta wait. But it seems like it's okay now. No, it's okay.
Okay. Yes? Someone say yes or no?
Yeah, you're good. You're gonna be able to work at Google after all this, Rabbi.
Yeah, right. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to just jump right into the piece. Rav Tzadok is a fascinating sefer, and he says like this: we are in a sefer that he wrote called Tzidkas Tzaddik. I'm not going to get into who Rav Tzadok is, not that I have really any idea, because he was such a super genius. But he writes about very in-depth topics. So the following topic, I sent it out. I don't know if everybody got it, but it's Kuf Pei Vav, if I'm not mistaken, in the piece. No, sorry, Kuf Tzadi Vav. Okay, some of you guys are following, and I'll say it over. It's everything Rav Tzadok wrote, he wrote in depth. A fascinating sefer. He takes all of Shas, all of Zohar, and he does it in depth, and he connects in a very unusual way. So I'm going to try to say over the best I can. A lot of it I will get, and a lot of it I hope, and a lot of it I won't necessarily get. If you're following inside, I said it out. Shalosh Ahavos Yesh. There's 3 types of love. Hashem made 3 types of great spiritual love. Ahavas HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'Hatara, V'Yisrael. There are 3 loves that a Yid can connect to. One is love of God, one is love of Torah, one is love of Klal Yisrael. The Kulam Chad, and it's all one. Ki Yadua, B'Zohar, like the famous Zohar tells us, Taha B'lo Ha Lo Sagi. One without the other is not enough. Like we know the concept of Kudsha Bricha V'Araisa Yisrael Chadhu, and Rav Tzadok takes it one step further, that not only is Hashem, the Torah and Klal Yisrael one, but also the love of the 3 of them are also connected. And Rav Tzadok is going to tell us that the Zohar tells us that one without the other is not enough. And he's going to explain what happens if you have a love of one, but you don't have a love of the other, right? If a Yid loves Hashem, doesn't love Torah. Loves Torah, doesn't love Hashem. Loves the Jewish people, doesn't love Hashem. How does that all work, that it's all one, right? So he says as follows. Ba'avas Hashem Yisbarach hu hashorish. The first step is that love of Hashem is the source of everything. Ki avas Yisrael levad. Because if a person loves Klal Yisrael only below Hashem Yisbarach, without Hashem, who oev tzavsa b'chabrusa, so then he likes friends. He likes having a group of people that he hangs out with. right? That's what he can love Jews. He can have a tremendous love of the Jewish people, but he doesn't have Hashem. So it's like a social thing. It's a personal thing. It's an emotional thing, but it has nothing to do with anything higher than that. For who Dor HaFlaga and Rav Tzadok always, he says like every line that he puts in has some interesting chiddush. And he says that was the concept of the Dor HaFlaga, the generation that made the tower in Bavel, that they created a unity. The Gam Kain Ahavu Chavrusa, they loved each other. They were very close. They were working together. They felt connected together. So that was a misuse of Ahava, which is Ahava without Hashem. So Ahava without Hashem is the Dor HaFlaga, and that's, if we have it, it's still a nice thing, but it's not the deep connection of Jews on a spiritual level. And then he says, as he does always, these side points are fascinating, and this is very relevant because we're going to have Boaz, and we're going to be reading Megillas Rus, it's Hashem, this coming Shavuos, in 2 days. V'shemati da'alzeh tikein Boaz she'ela shalom b'shem. As is known, the Gemara says, and that when Boaz would meet people, he would say Baruch Hashem b'shem Hashem. They would use Hashem's name. Why? Why did Boaz institute that? So simple shot is because he wanted people to think and talk about Hashem. But he said there was a deeper than that. Shu ahav tzavsa ma'od. Boaz loved the connection with Yidden. Upachad shemed hu avas tzavsa beluz Shammies Bore Us. And he was afraid that he was loving just the community of Jews and other people without Hashem. He thought like, okay, so maybe I'm just connected on a social level, because he loved them. Therefore, when he began his connection with them, he started there, connecting and talking with them. B'sheil shalom, and he would say hello to them. Shalom b'shem. He would bring Hashem's name. Lomar sherotze rak. Sherotze rak tzavsa l'chvod shemayim. He loves Yidden, but he wants to make sure that Hashem is in the picture. That Hashem is, because he's doing it l'chavod shemayim. He's doing it because there's a beauty and a love of the Jewish people. All right. So love of the Jewish people without a love of Hashem, that's just a love of social connection, right? He likes it's an debate show, right? That's the outer circle, right? It's the inner circle also, but it's basically you love Jews, wherever that may be, but not necessarily because it's a connection to Hashem. Ba'avas Torah below Hashem Yisbarach. What if a person loves Torah, but he doesn't love Hashem? There used to be a lot of Jews that used to smoke cigarettes on Shabbos, and they would learn Torah. They love Torah. He said, Hainu avas ha'chachma bilvad. That's only love of chachma. He likes wisdom. He thinks that Torah is a lot of wisdom. V'zehu dora ha'mabul, and this is going to be an interesting chiddush to some of us. And that concept of loving wisdom, loving chachma without Hashem is the Dora Mabul. Why? The Zohar tells us, Shahayaroi az matan Torah, the hema avu Torah, the chachma bo. It's me. The Gemara says that generation could have been zochet the matan Torah, and because they had a great love of chachma, of Torah and chachma od. It says that again, the idea of being flooded. We were supposed to be flooded with the wisdom of Torah. Ein mayim el Torah, but instead they got a different sort of flood. They got a flood on a physical level and got washed out. Right? So that's the idea of loving Torah, without Hashem. And again, he makes a side point. The Zehu Tam. Now this is a very deep thing. Okay, I'm going to do my best, Rabosa, to explain this. I want to tell you that this is a little bit above my pay grade, but I'm going to do my best to explain it anyway. The pasuk says,
Can I ask a question, Rabbi?
Absolutely.
Just back on the last point about about what Boaz was mataking about saying shalom with the name. Right. Are we saying that he's the one who turns the word shalom into a greeting because that's one of the names of Hashem?
No. It says in the Megillah. I don't have a Megillah in front of me right now. Yes, I do. It says when he met up with the people in the field. So it says. Sorry, let me just pull this out somewhat quickly. it says he met up with the people that were harvesting the field, and he told them, and he came to them, went out to the field. Boaz bought me Beis Lechem, and we'll go to Hashem imachem. And Boaz came from Beis Lechem, and he saw the people harvesting, and he said, Hashem imachem, and they said back to him, Yivarechecha Hashem. Right? So that's what we're referring to here, Schmoly. The pasuk, this is in Beis, pasuk Dal.
So what's the b'shem?
No, so the pshat was, instead of just saying hello to everybody, right, he used Hashem's name. He didn't want to just say hello.
Okay. I didn't understand. Okay.
Okay? Fine. I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear. Thank you for asking. Anyway, so here it brings the pasuk from the time of Noah, and it says, "V'zeh tam b'nei ha'elokim el benosa adam." It says over here that literally, I don't know what it means. The sons of it literally means the sons of Hashem, which means it refers to Malachim, according to Saf, and it also refers to the nobility, right? The sons of the Elohim over here could also be Chol, and they came to Benos Adam. They came onto the daughters of man, of people, right? And it says that's the simple pshat is that they were like these great people, and they had relations, and they weren't interested, and they were very inappropriate. But however, there's a much deeper concept over here, again, which I'm saying is above my pay grade, but we'll try to do it anyway. The Yadua Nukva Hua Cheshek, the idea of the feminine in Judaism is cheshek, is desire. That's the idea of a feminine. It's a feminine quality. We have a desire. We want to connect to Hashem, right? We want to create life. We want to learn His Torah. The cheshek is feminine, and the chura hamiloi, and the wisdom is a masculine quality. That fills up the desire. So on a physical level, we know there's a cheshek, right? That's a feminine quality, and the man fills that desire. But on an intellectual level, on a spiritual level, the pshat is the cheshek that we have, the desire we have is feminine, and then we fill it up with chachma, right? So there's a kli, and then there's the light that goes into the kli. Malachim, he's saying that the pshat of that pasuk is referring to malachim. Yesh lahem chachma, they have wisdom, v'hasaga, and deep understanding. Rak she'ein lahem yetzer hara, but of course the malachim have no desire, v'tshuka, and a yearning, because they're malachim. They're standing. They don't have desires like that. Kamot de'ez of medrash nelam, the medrash tells us. The gam cheshek l'divrei Torah tzarech yetzer hara. What's that? Oh, over here. 1 second, gentlemen. It's not the big one, isn't over there then? Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll get you this one. Sorry. Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, sorry. So the Malachim, they have wisdom, but they have no cheshek. And it says the gam cheshek l'divrei Torah tzarech yetzer hara. Fascinating idea. In order to learn with the cheshek, you have to have the yetzer hara. We have to be using the yetzer hara who wants things, who has a desire, he's yearning for things, right? So it could be a yearning on a physical level, it could be a yearning on a spiritual level. But to learn Torah with the cheshek, you need to bring in the yetzer hara into it. The Adam yesh lo cheshek, and people have desires. Rak she'ein lo hasaga, but they don't have full understanding. Va'az nischabru, they joined together. So at the time of Noah, there was a connection between people of Adam, benos Adam, which represents the feminine quality of desire, of yearning, with wisdom. Now that would have been a great combination to bring us to Kabbalah Torah, but it didn't go that way. Okay, so again, I don't mean to be flying around things which are too heavy, but that's an idea of what it means to have chachma by itself. Because you have to have a desire, you have to have a cheshek for the Torah. I don't want to take a time. There's something related to this, but I want to. So he said, however, rak bezulas, let me see if they skipped the line. No. Rak bezulas Shammies Bore Us, mizeh nimshach znus. a fascinating idea. He says if you have straight chokhmah, straight wisdom, but you don't have Hashem in the picture, you're going to get abznus. You're going to have an immoral society because there's no godliness. And they're going to use all their wisdom to bring them in a certain way. So that desire is going to bring them ultimately to znus. So again, let's just pause for a second. We have over here, we have love of Hashem, love of Torah, love of the Jewish people. You love the Jewish people, you don't have Hashem, that's because you like people. It has nothing to do with connecting on a deeper level to their neshamas. If you love Torah, but you don't love Hashem, you're not connected to Hashem, you like chokhmah, you like wisdom, you like learning books, you like learning philosophy, and you like learning Torah. And then he brings side points, but those are the two main points. Let me pause, because these are not easy concepts. Are we together, gentlemen? Yes? Okay. I will assume that, shtika kodo, I don't hear anything. That means we're okay. Ubnei Yisrael, Zera Avraham, Ohavi, a fascinating idea. Every line in Rav Tzadok is like, it's a much different sort of sefer than the Sivir Shalom that we've learned. Sivir Shalom is much more laid. The Rav Tzadok is like this chap, like in chokhmah. It's just a fascinating like use of all of Chazal that he puts together. Ubnei Yisrael Zera Avraham Ohavi, and the Jewish people who are the offspring of Avram, who is Shem's beloved one. Kvar mileda mibeten kavua behem avas Shammies Bore Us. From the time they're born, it is set in them a love of Hashem, shehu ashorish neged midas hakeser, which is a concept which relates to the keser, the crown, she'enu betfisis adam. Okay, so there's a little bit about my pay grade, but not as much. There's a concept called keser. When we talk about the spheres, one of the spheres is keser. Keser means that which sits on the head, and it's above us. It's higher than us. It's nothing that really is part of us. It's something that's given to us, but is really not anything that we do. So the fact that when a Jew is born, he is born with Avas Hashem, is totally a gift. It's a spiritually genetic gift that we are given, that we have that reality, that we have that in us. Which by the way, just in case anybody ever deals with religious, non-religious, semi-religious, and they tell you, I don't believe in God, whatever, just know, like, you don't have to be upset, but you just have to, and you don't have to want to tell them necessarily, but you just like, sorry, you're genetically wired with Avas Hashem. That's just the way it goes. You are hardwired to be connected because your neshama is on a higher level than that. But that concept is called keser. That's the crown, which is it's a gift from above. All right. So the chokhmah ubina em avas Torah the Yisrael, and the love of chokhmah is of Torah. That next level is chokhmah, and the next level is bina, and that's the Jewish people. The bina liba, because the bina is in the heart. The sham ikar avas chaverim. That's where the real love of people is in the heart. All right. So again, we got love of Hashem. That's the crown that's above us. Then it comes down. We started getting wisdom. Amazing, fascinating. That's Torah, and then we realize, appreciate all the people around us. That's the Jewish people. That's the next level. Okay, now I don't want to lose anybody on this. I'm just afraid that we're going to lose. Like it's getting like too way out there. But the concepts are rather fascinating. The main concept I just don't want to lose out on. I just have to someone's going to have to give me an idea of like, are they holding by this? Do they need to go? Can I like push on? Because there's one concept at the very end, which I just want to, like, if I don't mention it, I will be doing a disservice to everyone here, because it's a very important idea, and it comes very much from the Baal Shem Tov. Tell me, gentlemen, just give me some idea.
Keep on going.
Bring it on, Rabbi.
Keep going, Rebbe. We need it.
Okay. Shkaya, I needed to hear that also. Shkaya, okay, so Kain leva adam la adam. The heart of a person to a person, which refers to the heart. All right. No, let me skip the parentheses over here. These brackets. The hein kochos nefesh ruach and neshama, and this idea of love of the Jews, love of Torah, love of Hashem relates to our nefesh, our ruach, and our neshama. Because it says like this: Ki chibur Yisrael zeh lezeh hu mitzad nefesh. The fact that we connect each other is because we are connected on one level called the nefesh. The chibur al Torah mitzad haruach. And that is affected by the ruach. Again, the ruach is the next level of ula Shammies Bore Us mitzad haneshama. The ma'isa, our connection to Hashem, is from the neshama. Shemitachas kisei hakavod, which is below the kisei hakavod. L'chein omru. That's why they say neshama shnasate b'taharehi. Right? Why do we say that the neshama is tahara? Because it means the sham ein shayich kilku, ki hu chelik elokah. Because in that spot, that's where it's chelik elokah mimal. Now this we don't have shnei around for, but here is a little bit different take on the chelik elokah mimal. The chelik elokah has to do more with the neshama and has to do with the fact that we are intrinsically connected to Hashem, and therefore you'll hear all sorts of stories. When we went to Poland, Schmoly was very kind enough just to send to share a video that we had from Poland. All people get these incredible insights, and we have these stories that, like, of people that did Mesiras Nefesh, that didn't make sense why they were even doing it. Because when it comes to the bottom line, there's a level above us called Keser, which defies definition. The Avas Shammies Bore Us, ein nizazes klal. The love of Hashem by the Jewish people doesn't budge. It doesn't move. That's why the Medrash says, a famous Medrash, Halavai osi ozvu, Halavai, they should leave me, ve'ez tarasi. I forget the exact lesson, but they should be Mekayim the Torah. This simple pshat that you will hear, if you hear this chazal in yeshivas, the way you will hear it is that Halavai, they should forget about me, because wanted to connect to me, says Hashem, that's very important. But I want them to do is to learn the Torah. That's a simple shot. And that's why you'll hear it. Meaning that a person, especially here in yeshivas or shvuas, that'll learn Torah. That'll connect you. But Hashem says, don't worry about all the connection. Learn Torah. But it's Rav Tzadok, like he does always, takes it on a deeper level. The oso kiviyocho e efshar livnei Israel, because him, so to speak, it's impossible for Bnei Israel Lazo. We can't leave Hashem. There's no way to leave. Hashem says, Halavai, they should leave me. We can't. Because it's like, go learn the Torah, because and don't bother. No, we can't. We're tied in. Because it's almost like an idea that Hashem says, I'm going to be like controlling over you. I'm going to rule over you with a strong hand, because the same way that a king like demands, he's in charge. So it also, so to speak, he's in charge. He runs the show. Even if we do things to anger Hashem. Ein shorish avas Hashem yizbarach through neged midas hakeser. So that quality, which is the love of Hashem, shehu shorish hanelam b'machshava, it's the hidden root in our thoughts. Sham lo nita klal. We cannot become uprooted. The afal pi shechata. Now we can be chota in Torah. We can break ourselves away from Torah, as we know. We can break ourselves from connecting to the Jewish people. But it looks like we can disconnect ourselves from Hashem. We can't. That's what he's saying. On a neshama level, on a soul level, we cannot disconnect ourselves. Yisrael who? And he says like this. Now, the Chorban Rishon, the first base of English, this is what the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, not the Gemara in Yuma. The Gemara says that Chorban Rishon al Ozim Taras, that was because they left the Torah, right? So that was one level. They can't leave Hashem, but they can leave the Torah. Torah, but if we do get back to the Torah, and then we will have the light of it, then we return to Hashem. So even though it looks like we're returning from Hashem, But we're really just turning from the Torah, but we return to the Torah, we return to Hashem. Maybe la'avas Shammies Bore Us ha'ne'elemes, even though there's a hiddenness of our love to Hashem. Shetavo lidei giloi, it'll be revealed, which means it's always there, it gets hidden, and then we learn Torah, it reconnects us. So we want to know one thing that's going to hope to be happening on Shavuos. When we're learning the Torah, we're supposed to be reconnecting in a way where it reconnects us with Hashem. All right? So therefore, we're connected to Hashem. That doesn't budge, but we can move from the Torah. But if we get back to the Torah, that will get us back to Hashem, where that can sometimes be hidden. That's the bias Rishon. That's what Gemara says in Sanhedrin. The Korban Sheni, Haya Al Yidei Sinas Chinim. However, that's a different level. In Sinas Chinim, the high note, you guys, I'm sure, can figure this one out. At Heder Avos Yisrael, because in the Bias Rishon we were learning Torah. That was one level down. The next level we didn't have Avos Yisrael. And now this next point, Rabosai, the first idea is a little bit thick, but this next thing is a huge yesod that Chassidus was mechadish. I just want to tell you, we're going to learn something over here that most of us probably have not heard this concept, and it's somewhat radical in terms of it's pashut on one hand, but it's radical on another. We'll hear why. And it says, "B'tana de Eliyahu, Rabbi." The Tana Eliyahu says, "Darkan shel b'nei Adam lomar avos Torah kodemis avos Israel." It says over there that the love of Torah is bigger than it goes before the love of the Yid. And Eliyahu says, that was Tana de Eliyahu. Eliyahu says, "The who al derech she'omer." It says, "Kamet." The Gemara's Mako says, "Kamet tipshoi inshe." There's a lot of foolish people. The kaimi mikmei sefer Torah. They get up in front of a sefer Torah. Below mikmei gaver rabba, but they don't get up in front of a Talmud Chacham. Why? The eitzel b'nei Adam sefer Torah chashuva. Because if you're going to know about kavod, you think it's a sefer Torah, you got to get up for it. Kikach hu mitzad b'nei Adam. People think like that. Avos Torah tzarich lahaktim, lahachnis b'leiv, because they think you have to first put your avos Torah. But that's Eliyahu's going to say not like that, not exactly like that. V'chein haya matan Torah, v'achid kach nisa la'aretz. But the idea is what we're going to do is we're going to have Torah and we put it into our hearts, and that's represented by going into the land. Why? I wasn't sure about this, but when they leave the land and then they leave Torah. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I don't think it's the essential point of it. Mitzada Shammies Bore Us. But in terms of the Shem, you want to, what's more chashuv? What's more chashuv? It says the Reishis, Bishvil Reishis, Bishvil Yisrael, or Bishvil Torah. If you look up a Chumash, everybody knows, not everybody, the guys know that the beginning of Chumash, it says, the Reishis bara l'kim es Shammies Bore Us. Rashi says, Bishvil Reishis, for the purpose of the Reishis of that which is first. And Rashi quotes that its Reishis is Torah, Reishis Darko, and Klaiso is called the Reishis Tuasa. We're both called Reishis. We're like the first, we're like the head, right? The question is, which Reishis is primary? So normally you think Torah. Right? Simple pshat is Torah. Says Rav Tzadok an interesting chiddush, and this is basically the approach to the Baal Shem. I heard this from Rabbi YY a few months ago. I knew it, but he made it much clearer. Mitzad Shammies Bore Us. In terms of Hashem, Reishis Tuasa, the beginning of his crop, Hainu Apri Vatua, that fruit, and that produce, Sherotza La'achnis Bezrias Ha'olam, that he wanted to plant into the world, that things should grow. Hey, Naf shows Yisrael. Nafal shows to Yisrael. That's the Jewish people. That's the Zriya. That's the planting that he wants to do in this world. Doesn't mean Tuasa, just like barley and wheat. We're the tefua that he's planting in this world to have godliness grow. The Haim Kolim Kol Torah Kulo. And the Jewish people include the entire Torah. Rak She'etzlam Hu Sosam, in the Jewish people, it's really hidden. In each one of us is a huge fountain of Torah. But it's hidden. We don't see it necessarily. And the Torah explains the Sefer Torah that's inside each one of us. That's why we're saying they get up for a Sefer Torah, but they don't get it up for a Yid. Because they don't have it. Inside of the Yid is the Sefer Torah. Right? In him is the Sefer Torah. And that's the way it is by anybody who's reached the Shleimus. Right? The Sefer Torah is in there. Abbas Israel, Kodemis, Lamaisa, really, if you get to the highest point, Abbas Israel goes first, Shehem He'ikr, the Shorish Torah. That's the Ikr, and that's the source of Torah. The Achar Kachu HaTorah Lefarish Lahavi, then the Torah helps us explain and understand Hama'amokim HaGanuzim B'chol Nefesh Pratim Yisrael. It comes to understand the depths of what's inside of us. So when we're bringing out Torah, really the Torah is inside of us. That's the Torah that we're trying to bring out, right? The Torah that we're going to learn, of course the Torah is, it all works together without the one without the other, just as it's a shidduch. You can't break the two apart. But the way that he's saying over here, and I'm telling you, this is what the Baal Shem was saying, when you have to figure out which is like primary, Torah or the B'nai or Klal Yisrael, the Baal Shem was Mechadish, that it's Klal Yisrael. And Rav Tzadok's just explaining the way it works is because in each one of us, we try to learn, we think Torah, we try to understand, I don't get the Pshat, I don't get the Tosis. The Pshat is, it's inside of us. And what we're trying to do by learning our Torah is to bring out all of the Chachma, all of the deep wisdom that we have inside of us. So when you hear a vort, for example, you hear a good vort, and it rings true. Why does it ring true? Why does it be like, wow, that's emes? Why? Because you've got a Torah inside. Because your Torah recognizes the Torah that you just heard. So that when you hear a shtickle Torah, when you hear a Rav Tzadok, when you hear a place, you hear the Mash gives whatever it may be, it's not Chassidus, of course. You hear a shtickle Torah, you hear a Gemara, you hear a Ramban, you hear something from the Gaon. It's all like, wow, that's a great one. Because the Pshat is your Sefer Torah hears it. Your Sefer Torah knows it. And it's just bringing it out. So really, the Eker Sefer Torah is inside of us. And the Torah is for it to help develop that which is inside of us. Right? But again, it's all a shidduch. You can't have one without the other. If you don't have Hashem, the whole system falls apart. Right? You don't have Hashem, you just have wisdom, that's Torah, or you just have good friends. That's Yisrael. But when you put the whole thing together, then you have Hashem together with Chachma and with Torah and Yisrael, and the Torah is explaining the deep Torah which is inside of us, the emes which is inside of us. So we are trying to connect to that. So I think the chizuk of this piece, among many other things, which I hope I was able to give over a little bit, is that when we are learning Torah, we have to try to think it over. We have to think about it. We have to review it. We have to try to understand it. And we have to know that the Chachma is inside of us. It's sometimes or often not easy to get into and to relate to understand it well, but that's what we're trying to do. And the inside of us is the Sefer Torah, and but we're connecting to the Torah to help bring that out, bring that in us. All right, so the kids, let's just just to say the kids of the piece, again, like we just mentioned before, 3 types of love of Hashem, love of the Torah, love of Am Yisrael, right? So we said that if a person loves Torah, but he loves people, but he doesn't love Hashem, it's not connected to love of Hashem, that's like a good friend, and that was like Boaz saying, mentioning Hashem's name before he met up with all the people. If you have Torah and you don't have Hashem, it's just Chachma, and that can lead to znus. And then he mentioned that side thing about female and male, about putting that aside. Then we said that actually Avos Hashem is that which is implanted in us. That doesn't budge. That's part of the neshama, the keser, that's the crown that's above us. Then we have the nefesh and the ruach. Nefesh is the Jewish people, ruach is the Torah, and that can go off. So in the first temple, what went off was our connection to Torah. And therefore we felt distant from Hashem, but when we got reconnected to Torah, then the revelation of connection to Hashem came out. In the second temple, we were seen as Chena, so therefore we lost our connection to the Jewish people, right? And when that happened, so then, right, and what's the tragedy of that is why Rav Tzadok gets into that, because we don't understand that losing connection with the Jewish people means we got disconnected from the depths of what Torah is supposed to be about. The depths of Torah is to understand the wisdom that's inside of us, and to understand the side that's inside of him, and her, whatever. And the Torah is supposed to be bringing it out. And therefore, when we're learning Torah, we should have that feeling that there's wisdom inside of us, there's all of the love inside of us, there's 3 types of love, and it's there to bring it out, to recognize and others to know they've got a whole Sefer Torah inside of us, and then we have the Sefer Torah inside of us. We're learning our Torah to bring all of that out. I know that's a complicated piece, gentlemen, but I just think there's so many fascinating ideas. I hope I was able to give over some sense of clarity. If you have any questions, comments,
Beautiful piece, Rabbi. Thank you. I hope we're zocha to more complicated pieces like this in the future.
I have a big taiva when it comes to it's one of my big it's like Olam Hazez. One of my big taivas in Olam Hazez.
Yeah.
Okay, and have a wonderful Yom Tov to be filled with light and connection to Hashem, Torah, and the Jewish people.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good Yantiv.
Good.
Yaakov, who Mamash, he jumped in a moment to you guys. He jumped quickly. We went right into this. Thank you very, very much. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Very
Rabbi. Good
well.
Yom Tov.
Okay.
Happy birthday to your great-great-grandfather, David HaMelech.
Thank you. Baal Shem also. Baal Shem.
Baal Shem also. The Neshama Shav and Aliyah.
Okay. That's great.